Area forecast discussion. Jacksonville. Today, a weak trough extends from offshore the Carolinas down into North Florida along the Florida-Georgia border. Precipitable water values are high, around 2 to 2.1 inches, especially over northeast Florida. This moist air mass, combined with the boundary aloft, is fostering scattered to numerous showers and a few thunderstorms south of Gainesville to St. Augustine. North of that, the air is more stable. For aviators, expect convective activity today, particularly mid-afternoon to early evening, with localized wind gusts and thunderstorm outflows. Flight levels will be affected by varying ceilings and likely PVCTS thresholds, where storms cross terminal areas. Winds aloft are from the north-northeast at 15 to 20 knots up to 15,000 feet, with gradual veering and weakening at the surface into the afternoon. Be cautious of coastal mixing and sea breeze convergent zones, which may ramp up low-level convergence and support thunderstorm initiation. Area forecast discussion. Miami is embedded within a classic summertime pattern. Deep moisture fueled by a tropical air mass, aided by a weak tropical upper tropospheric trough, or TUTT. Precipitable water remains elevated near 2 inches. Afternoon convection is widespread across southern Florida, including coastal and inland zones with southwest to south-southwest, low-level flow-enhancing sea breeze convergence. Strong to marginally severe storms are possible this afternoon into the evening, with vertical wind shear sufficient to support gusts and frequent lightning. Pilots can expect rapid changes in VFR conditions to low ceilings, MVFR-IFR, in convective cores, along with erratic winds and rain-induced turbulence. The aviation section includes temporary restrictions at major terminals with VCTS, shifting winds and potential IFR conditions with heavy storms. Area forecast discussion. Melbourne, East Central Florida is facing an unsettled regime today. A mid-level trough overhead and residual outflow boundaries from early morning convection have maintained activity along the Space and Treasure coasts. HRR guidance suggests continued outflow-induced convection through mid-afternoon. Cumulus regeneration is supported along the western peninsula, then eastward later. Expect gusty winds between 40 and 50 miles per hour, frequent lightning, and heavy downpours. Pilots flying through interior and coastal zones should be wary of low-level wind shear and convective gust fronts. Precipitable waters are near 2 inches, and lapse rates between the surface and 3 kilometers are steep, around 7 to 8 degrees Celsius per kilometer, favoring strong convective updrafts and downdrafts. Storm activity should begin to ease tonight as boundaries drift offshore by around 9 to 10 p.m. Area forecast discussion. Tampa. The Tampa Bay region remains in a moist summer pattern with daily afternoon sea breeze showers and storms. Today, isolated spotty showers persist into the evening, anchored by local convergent zones and residual unstable air. CAM guidance keeps activity coastal confined, with inland stability likely limiting development. For flight operations, expect VFR conditions between showers, but keep alert for sudden convective outflows that may induce wind shifts or gust events. Sea breezes from both coasts are colliding inland, raising potential for new convective initiation late this afternoon. Marine interests should note light winds with possible gusts near convective zones, and seas remain calm at 2 to 4 feet. Summary of the peninsula's weather. Overall, Florida is entrenched in a moist, unstable summertime pattern, driven by tropical moisture advection, midday heating, sea breeze convergence, and a weak upper-level troughing. Today, each region exhibits similar convective behavior. Afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms, gusty outflow winds up to 50 miles per hour, frequent lightning, and heavy precipitation rates. However, there are nuanced regional distinctions. The Jacksonville area features frontal zone interactions along the Georgia-Florida border. Miami and Melbourne face upper-level disturbances enhancing caps and storm vigor. Tampa's activity is more sea breeze initiated and isolated. For pilots, the mesoscale boundaries, outflows, sea breezes, sharp lapse rates, high moisture content, and veering wind profiles aloft pose challenges to low-level wind shear, turbulence, VCTS operations, and flight planning in and around convective zones. Aircraft routing should account for dynamic wind shifts, potential IFR/MVFR transitions, and gust fronts. Mariners should monitor gusty convective winds and locally heavy showers. Cloud ceilings and visibilities are expected to fluctuate with convective passage, with nighttime steadier VFR returning post-convection. Rip currents may increase along East Coast beaches due to onshore flow and convective gusts.